everyone, welcome to episode 1 of VEED Video Club. Today we are here with Sophie Miller, marketing expert. Welcome, Sophie.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us just a little bit about yourself, just a synopsis of who you are and what you do?
Of course, I actually always find these questions so difficult.
Mm-hmm.
You could ask me anything about marketing, but when it comes to who is Sophie? Who is she? What does she do? I am the founder and director of online marketing community Pretty Little Marketer, which is the online community for people in and on social media, with the goal being to make social media simple, less overwhelming, and bring people together over those shared frustrations. I also work as a content creator, which is a really fun part of my job. I speak and I run a whole business as a team of one. So
busy woman.
I am. So yeah, I love what I do. I'm so grateful that our community are absolutely wonderful, and have a lot of fun.
I think you summed that up brilliantly.
Thank you.
So we're so impressed with the community that you've built over the last almost 5 years now. Obviously here at VEED, we're constantly every day trying to build a community. So can you just tell us a little bit about how you do that and how you kind of started doing that?
Of course, and you guys do the best job of building
thank you.
community. I started PLM, as you said, 5 years ago in June, so it's our 5th birthday very soon.
Exciting.
And it's gone, you know, when you reflect and it feels like forever ago and yesterday at the same time. It's just been a whirlwind 5 years, and it very much started with me wanting community. I was a second year university student and I went to university at 21, so not late. However, on my induction day, my lanyard did say mature student right at the top in big letters, so I didn't feel old until then.
Yeah.
And so I was 23 at the time of starting PLM. I really felt late in my career, rushing through university, and I had submitted my final assignment of my second year. We were in COVID, I was home alone, and what should have been quite an exciting moment, I'm just going into third year, almost done, I burst into tears on my sofa, overwhelmed, frustrated, and most of all, feeling so insanely lonely. What do you mean everyone else has it figured out? Everyone else knows how to get into marketing, or when they get into marketing, they know exactly what they're doing, and I just wanted affirmation that it wasn't just me. And I'm a Gen Z baby, so I took to Instagram, of course, at Pretty Little Marketer, and simply just started documenting my own thoughts, my own journey, the 4 Ps, what I was learning at university. And within a week, had 1,000 followers. Within 2 weeks, 2,000. And by January, 6 months later, we were a community of 50,000 across Instagram and LinkedIn. And understanding other people felt like me was the kind of biggest, 1, revelation, 2, comfort, but 3, door to building what I think is brilliant and engaged, but like just super wonderful community that we have at PLM. And I have worked over the years with some of the world's biggest brands to build community first strategies, and it always comes back to a shared interest. And I often use Oatly as an example. They sell dairy alternatives, but they connect over climate change, this shared want for a better future, to protect our planet, to make greater and more eco-conscious decisions. And through their content and what they do online, it's always product second, which I think can be so hard to pitch to bosses and stakeholders, but is the most important thing if you're trying to build a highly engaged audience. But 2, as you said, a community that are gonna be with you and stay with you for the long haul. So it started for me as wanting to find people that felt this thing, and now it continues to be building around that thing. So I think if a brand can do that, find that, whether it's a pain point, a shared excitement, a shared interest like Oatly, build around it, product second, then you're onto a community winner.
Yeah, you're onto a winner. That's crazy. So your first week, you got 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
What was the content exactly? Was it video, just carousels?
Video didn't exist on
oh yeah, that is
Instagram.
true.
Well,
that is
you
true.
obviously could post it to feed, but like reels weren't a thing yet.
Of course. So it's just images and captions.
They sucked. I've actually archived all of them.
We were hoping to put them on the screen now.
I'll send them to you. They did not look good. It was like, here's what I think about my CV, here's what I think about this campaign. So it's very much like Sophie sharing her thoughts. And I think what was different with PLM v other like marketing channels, like the kind of marketing magazines or bigger brand channels, was PLM was a conversation. And that was really unstrategic at the time. I just wanted to know what other people thought and felt for my own kind of benefit and comfort. But I think that is what people kind of really enjoyed, and it's what I really enjoy about our community as well. So I think this. What do you guys think? And it worked out pretty well.
Did you ever, a lot of people will probably think when they're first starting an account, there's like an embarrassment behind it, so they don't want their like close friends to see it. Did you ever feel like that, or were you kind of just like, You did? Yes. I lived with my partner. We had moved in together 6 or 7 months before, I think. We moved out into our fast flat a week before the UK lockdown. Oh my God.
So I was like, right, we're either going to love each other. Love each other very soon. And we'd been together 5 years by that point, and my boyfriend is an angel. You could do anything. He would never judge you. He is everyone's biggest fan. But I remember like making my Canva post like this, so he couldn't see, or like posting it under the table so he couldn't see it. And I don't know why I felt afraid to show it to like the people I love the most. And I remember it was probably about 2 or 3 months until on the account I was like, my name is Sophie, not Pretty Little Marketing. There was like a picture of me.
So it was completely faceless at the beginning?
I think so, yeah. So it took me a while, but I think it's quite normal, isn't it? Starting something new.
Yeah.
I do think 5 years on, we're kind of in this space now, social-wise, where it's a bit more normalised for people to just like start a hobby or a love account or whatever it might be. So I would hope now people feel a bit more confident and happy to just do it. But if you don't, I get it.
Yeah. I think there's also a sense of, you probably will feel an embarrassment around it regardless, but if people judge you and like make fun of you, then they're people that just you don't need in your life. I think that's probably a good way to think about it. And if you're passionate about it, like just do it anyway.
For sure.
But yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what would you say your favourite moment is and the most challenging moment has been in the last 5 years? So let's start with favourite moment in the last 5 years.
I feel so lucky to have so many from the last 5 years. I constantly cannot believe that this is my job and like this is what I get to do. And one thing you need to know about me is I'm a big baby, so I like have a lot of feelings, and they often come out in the form of tears. So I cry all the time, with gratitude, of course, never bad. But I would say the best moment was our first PLM IRL. So that is what I call our in-person events. Our first one was at Mama Shelter in Shoreditch, and I remember they reached out on email and were like, hey, like we would love to just give you this space to meet your community. And I was like, for free? For me? I can't believe it. And, because when you're a team of one or you're starting something new, there's so many barriers to doing the things you want to do. And I felt like they'd just given me this dream.
Yeah. And
we had 30 followers, community members in a room. It was late 2022, so PLM was about 2.5. A baby toddler by then. And I got there about 2 hours early because I was like, right, I need to set up. No setup was needed. It's done for you. And I was sitting there waiting, having all these feelings, and then the first person walked in and just be like, oh my goodness, like I did this thing one time and now you're here. And at so many points through the night, just being able to stand back and like watch 30 marketers, entrepreneurs, individuals step out of their own comfort zones, say hello. And every time I do a PLM IRL, we've done about 7 or 8 now, I have this moment at the start where I'll introduce, say hello to everyone, and get people to pop their hands up if it's their first event. And then secondly, pop their hands up if it's the first time they've ever come to a networking event. And almost always, most hands go up. And to know that people trust me or our community to create a safe space that they can do that and be confident and safe doing that. Oh my goodness, I go home and I cry every time. But it's just testament to like the power of social media and community and the internet, and for individuals to do something they haven't done before, I think is just the most fulfilling and beautiful thing. So I would say our first event, but that feeling never goes away.
Yeah.
Every time I host, it's just the best night.
It must be so amazing to just, like you say, stand back and just kind of take it all in, just be like, I've done this, that I've put all these people together, and what they would all get out of the event as well is like, so they could get so much out, they could get a job out of it, they can make friends, like anything. So I think it is pretty cool.
It is
that
so
you can
cool.
that you can do that, as like you said, just through social media as well. That's pretty impressive. And then your most challenging moment?
Many. There's many highs there are, of course, there's many lows. I think the biggest challenge for me was kind of like a year in. So started in June 2020. By June 2021, I was graduating and sure, I have all these followers, but what do I do? What do I do next? And I had loads of freelance opportunities come my way, which was amazing, and I did that for a little while, but almost that identity crisis of, okay, well, I could do this, but what do I want to do? And leading a community and sharing my insights. And I remember feeling, I wouldn't say embarrassed, I'm not sure what the word is, but to share with like our 50,000 followers, like I'm graduating and I don't have a job lined up, and I felt frustrated and I guess a bit afraid that I should know what I'm doing next. But I think a lot of my comfort in that time came from our community being like, babes, me neither. Like I'm 10 years in, even I don't know yet. And running a business, I always say I'm a marketer first, a creator second, and I'm a business person third. But when you're trying to run a business and you have bills to pay, it can be really quite stressful at times. So I would say the combination of that initial identity crisis. Once I graduate, I have this thing, but I have no idea what to do with it, and no one tells you what to do. Mixed with even now, 5 years on, I could do anything with my business, but I don't know what, and I don't know how. So I think those challenges never go away, but you overcome them one by one. You just have to take it as it comes is something that I've really learned. So there's been many challenges, but finding you in your business, I think, can be really quite challenging.
Yeah, and I think as well, everyone from the outside probably thinks, like, they probably look at someone and think, oh, they know exactly what they're doing, exactly where they're going. And I think on the inside, you're like, actually, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing. And like, imposter syndrome is such a real thing.
Absolutely.
I think everyone kind of struggles with it in some respects. So how did you kind of, was there a shining light? You're like, no, I'm just going to like full force take PLM on and just do this. Was there like anything that made you make that decision? Or was it kind of like a combination of things?
Good question. I feel like the universe just sends you where you need to go. You know, when you it does.
It really does. Everything happens for a reason.
It's true. Yeah. I had a moment recently and I like literally felt in my heart and I was like, this is exactly where I'm meant to be. And like I feel like all the past 5 years, every struggle just came into this like moment. I think I was just sat at home and like, you know, and you can breathe out and just know that you're safe and it's okay. Oh, it was great. I would like to experience that every day. But for me, it's literally just been a case of following the motions. I think the biggest push was when I started PLM. I was at university, but I was working part-time at a boutique influencer marketing agency in Cheltenham, where I was living. And come January, they were kind of like, okay, we need someone full-time. I was like, well, I have university, so I can't work for you full-time. I have things to do. And they were like, okay, well, off you go. And kind of like, bye-bye. So I don't want to say I lost that job, because I wasn't fired, but I got shunned out, I guess.
Pushed out.
Yeah, bye-bye. So then I had my own apartment, I had bills to pay, so turned to freelancing. And freelance up until 2023, so about 2 years ago I got rid of all my clients, and that's when I launched our membership, then into creating, speaking, and kind of more of like a founder role over freelancing. But even then it was a case of freelancing got really stressful, I didn't want to do it anymore. Creator opportunities were presented out
Yeah.
earning, taking up more time. So it just felt right.
Yeah.
But until it didn't feel right and it wasn't obvious, it was just a case of learning and kind of going through, not over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same losing that role and then turning to freelancing. Just a case of what has been presented, where's the opportunity right now.
Yeah.
I never started PLM with the intention to be a business. I don't even think I knew what an entrepreneur was until a year in, and I still can't spell it.
It's so hard to spell.
I autocorrect does it for me every time. So I've never had a plan. I've had a strategy.
Yeah.
I've never had a plan. Just a case of what's happening right now. What do I need to do? What could I do? And I think just being open to failing and taking it as a learning lesson as well. I am so type A. I hate failing. If I try something new, I have to be good now. I'm not going to do it. I'm the worst for it.
I've just started playing tennis and I'm not good at it yet. And it's so frustrating.
I immediately lose interest. All right, I would do it then.
Yeah, I don't want to play tennis.
It's not for me. But business has really taught me that you can't do that. Like you have to lean into what doesn't work as much as what does work. So just learn as you go. I think there's no harm in admitting I don't have a plan, but I'm going to figure it out. So no big moment, just a series of little universe nudges, I suppose.
Just going with the flow, seeing where the wind takes you. So obviously we've spoken about it briefly, but your 5-year anniversary is coming up. Are you planning on celebrating it in any way special?
I am. I'm having a 5th birthday. Did I invite you guys? Okay, for
you did, yeah.
I did.
Cool.
Oh goodness, that would have been awkward.
Oh yeah, we're going.
Oh yeah, I'm celebrating with my favourite people. Yeah, I'm hosting our 5th birthday party.
Nice.
I think it's in Holborn. I'm a London newbie, so I'm still kind of getting my grips on where everything is. Nice. And have lots of lovely people invited. I'm hosting like a private community Q&A first, and then we're having like a bit of a party afterwards, and we have cookies and donuts. And some other kind of fun. I did a LinkedIn post and was just like, would anyone like to give me things for my birthday party? And lo and behold, a few people were like, we can gift you this fun food. I know. Don't sleep on LinkedIn and just ask.
Oh my God, absolutely. If you don't ask, you don't get.
So yeah, I've been looking for beautiful pink outfits already, overwhelmed with options, and I'm really excited. It's going to be really fun.
It's going to be really good. And we're very excited as well. Yeah. Can't wait. Okay, so switching up a little bit now. So in terms of, let's give some other people some advice on what you've learned. So if a brand is just starting out on social, where do you think they should start? So where should they focus their energy right at the beginning, would you say?
2 kind of starter foundation questions I always work on with previous clients, or even now with our community, is what do you want to be known for? And who do you want to be known to? I think so often we run in with like, okay, well, where are we going to post and what are we going to post? But you have no foundation and no strategic direction. So what do you want to be known for? When someone reads your content, views your profile, what do you want them to think and feel? They're heading into the office. Oh my goodness, Sarah, I stumbled across VEED on Instagram and you have to follow them because 1, 2, 3. What do you want that recommendation to entail? Because that can inform your content. Okay, well, we want to be known as super informative. Great. Well, then next step, how do we do that through our content? Is it video? Is it carousel? Is that going to land best on TikTok? Or is it a bit complex and maybe a carousel on Instagram or LinkedIn would work better? And then question 2 is, who do you want to be known to? And I always split this into 2 of customers and community, because I think you need both. I do not think vanity metrics exist. I think followers and likes, they matter because they are an interest metric. So who do you want to be known to? Customers, who's buying from you, where are they going to be? And then your community. So the people that are going to like, follow, share. They might not necessarily purchase right away or at all, but they're in your interest group. They're in your community group. So, you know, if it's B2B, it might be Threads, X, LinkedIn. If it's an older demographic, it might be Facebook. It might also be Instagram and TikTok. Because I know that I think like 40% plus are like 30, 35 and over on TikTok. So it's not just Gen Z. Although we seem to think it is. So what do you want to be known for? Who do you want to be known to? Get it on paper, Notion, Google Docs, physical paper, get it all down. And only then start connecting the dots of where are we going to post and what are we going to post, and get messy with it. Once you've got those answers, don't waste time trying to get your templates ready or video ready. And I'm the worst for, well, I'll post it when I've got my new camera. Or like, it'll only be good when I've got my new mic, or well, when I've got my tan on my outfit, then I can do this. Just do it. Because your audience do not care as much as you do. But I think those starting foundation questions sound so simple, so basic, but they open the door to everything else you need to know.
And is it a case of like maybe you put these questions down, you get some rough answers, like maybe they're not right at the first go, like keep looking at it, keep tweaking it, and really refine it so that you really know what you're doing before you start. So I think, like you say, it's so important to not kind of run into it head first, just like figure out what you're doing first.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I completely agree. What do you think one thing that most marketers overlook is?
The comment section, especially feedback. I see so many, especially bigger brands who you'd expect to have bigger teams, bigger resource, bigger budget with, this has happened with my lip liner, or this happened on your website, or I've experienced this, and they're never responded to unless they move it to DMs, but I feel like that is quite unlikely. Yeah. One, it is the best place to build relationship. Yeah. I read a really interesting stat, and I don't know the exact number, but I think it was on Social Insider, which is a brilliant website. They have loads of great reports and resources. And it was like X% of customers, let's say like 40, it was quite a significant number, will buy you over a competitor if you respond to them on social media. And so the knock-on effect that just talking back can have on your literal margins and your profits is quite significant. So I think really underestimating the community management and how important that can be, whether it is in your comment sections, replying on Instagram stories, doing a Q&A, replying to your DMs. It's not all about content. Yeah. I know that Instagram specifically are really pushing DMs and sends per reach or some sort of metric at the moment. And I wrote a post back in January predicting like the future of private social and a metricless social, and how everything you're doing behind the scenes with your customers is going to matter even more than what you're doing on the grids front of scenes in future. So how are you building one-on-one relationships over mass metrics?
Yes. I feel like it makes you more human as a brand, doesn't it? If you actually have a voice and you respond to someone, like you're so right, like I would probably buy from a company if they replied to me. And even just building community as well within the comments. Like there's so many brands that do it really well, and that they're just like either hilarious or they're really trustworthy. So yeah, I think you're right, a lot of people do overlook community management, which shouldn't be. So we know that you're new to video, fairly new to video, not that new anymore to video. A lot of our users are as well. So would you give any advice to them in terms of how to start out, tips when you're actually recording, that kind of thing, from what you've learned in the past couple of months?
Ooh, I love this question. I feel so underqualified to give any video advice. I remember when I was really late to TikTok as a user. So I think I downloaded TikTok in like 2021 and it's been around since 2016, I think. I was that person throughout the whole of lockdown who was like, I'm not getting TikTok. Like everyone's got TikTok, so I don't want it. And then Reels was introduced, I think, end of 2022 on Instagram. And I remember being so bummed that I had another thing I had to do. I was like, what do you mean I now have to make videos? And I think a lot of creators and brands really lent into it. It's like, oh my goodness, new format, this is so cool. But deep in my soul, I've just been carrying this frustration and I just don't want to. But accepting and embracing, one, you kind of have to. I'm really sorry, but it's got to be done. But almost that perception shift of this is exciting and what can I do here is something that I'm a negative Nelly by nature. I'm a glass half full kind of half Yeah,
half
full,
empty.
yeah. kind of person. So embracing the opportunity is like the mindset shift I've really been trying to lean into. And I, for a very long time, just went into filming like my own reels or ad content of, okay, in my brain, I need to do this. Grab my phone. Okay, cool. This works. And I would have no plan going in. I'd then get to edit and have a series of clips that I didn't know what to do with. I'd just bang a voice over it and hope that it made sense. And it sounds like the silliest thing, but have a plan. Like really storyboarding it. I'm really lucky. It can be frustrating at times because it can be quite demanding, but a lot of the ad content I do and brands I work with will get in touch and they will ask for a storyboard and a script before you even plan, film it and submit. And I think that got me into a really good habit of having to do that. And I feel like I'm preaching to the choir because you guys are so good at all of this, but having a plan, note your shots, consider the outcome and then get your script ready. It takes longer. I think we perceive social media video as this thing that you should just be able to like shoot, film and do, but great results need good planning. So perception shift. I know it's frustrating. I don't want to wash my hair every day either.
Try being me.
I know. I mean, you look great every day, so it's because you're washing your hair every day.
Honestly, I was having a conversation with someone the other day and they were like, you film all the time. I was like, you know what, sometimes I just want to get up and not put makeup on, like not do my hair. It's so hard being me.
It is a first world problem.
It really is.
But yeah, perception shift. This is exciting. What can I do here? That's a brilliant way to connect with your audience and having a real plan. Don't wing it. I think we can wing certain things, but I think video content is not one of them. Not for me anyway.
I think it does take a little bit of extra time, but I think in the long run, it does
absolutely
make the video and the content that you're creating a lot better quality. Because I mean, some things you can go into and just kind of wing and film, and if it's like a shorter piece of content, it doesn't overly matter. But if you want to make a really quality piece of content, planning is really important. So absolutely. So the next question is, how do you stay on top of emerging trends without getting overwhelmed? Because I find this really hard. Literally, I feel like every day I go on LinkedIn or whatever it is and there's something new happening. And I'm like, oh my God, another thing to think about. So how do you kind of stay on top of it? Or do you? Maybe you don't.
I do, because it's my job. I am very lucky that I have more time than most. It is I'd say 70% of my job is content for PLM, and part of that is keeping others up to date. So for me, it's not something that I come by passively. It's a part of my daily routine. I am subscribed to a lot of newsletters like Ad Week, Ad Age, Marketing Week. A lot of them do like daily breakfast, like morning reports, which are really brilliant. So finding ways for the information to come to you. I also have like Google Alerts set up. So anytime, I've got parameters because when I first set them up, I didn't realize you could give it rules. And I had it set up where anytime Meta was mentioned on like certain platforms or on a news site, it would email me.
So having notifications.
What's Meta up to now? And they're always in the news. So that was overwhelming. But on Google, you can set up alerts for certain platforms or keywords or trends. So finding ways to make the information come to you. I also have a weekly newsletter that does exactly that.
Subscribe.
It's pretty good, I must say. I do really enjoy email marketing's become like a really rogue but favourite part of what I do. So finding ways for information to come to you. Also following people on the platforms you're on. So Matt Navarra on Threads and LinkedIn, Lindsay Gamble, I think is his surname, Leah Haberman, I think I've also butchered her surname, but on Threads and LinkedIn specifically, all three of them are constantly sharing like links, articles, news. And then finally for me, making time in my day to look on certain sites. So The Verge is brilliant. They do really great thought pieces as well. So more than just, LinkedIn and monetizing creators, they'll do a full piece on why that matters, who's it for? So it goes a bit deeper. The Verge, The Cut, the Washington Post and the New York Times often have social media, internet-y based pieces as well.
Okay.
And I usually just favourite them, bookmark them and go through them with my breakfast every morning or with lunch. So I know it's a pain, but making time for it. I think we often see like Instagram new feature and I roll because when aren't they adding a new feature?
I should just roll my eyes.
Yeah. But I think especially these significant ones like Meta creating a new AI app, or Meta Edits, or X doing like no public metrics. They are more than just updates. They are significant shifts and signals to what's coming next. And I think for marketers or even entrepreneurs to be able to future forecast and predict, okay, in 6 months, I think this metric's going to matter more. So how can I tailor my content? I know it's overwhelming, but it is so worth making time for it. One of the reasons why I love I relaunched my membership in March this year and added a Slack group community, and it's my favourite thing. We have a pet pics channel where people post pictures of their pets, but aside from that, having people around you, whether it is a community or your team, to be like, hey, I saw that this happened on LinkedIn, what do you think? Or, you know, decode it with them, speak with someone in your industry. So making the information come to you, making time for it, and make it a conversation, make it something fun, because we work in such a cool industry, and social media to me is just the center of everything, for better or for worse, and nothing happens if it's not on the internet. So embracing that, it's really cool, as much as overwhelming, but it's well worth investing your time into keeping up and keeping an eye on things.
I think even if you just set aside maybe half an hour, like say you do it when you eat your breakfast, like half an hour every day, or even 15 minutes every day, just have a little look, see what's going on, just update yourself. I think it's like such a small amount of time, but it can be so significant for the rest of your day, you know. So yeah, absolutely great ideas. In terms of AI tools, we're going to get a little bit techie now. Are there any AI tools that you love using? Obviously, besides VEED.
That's going to be my first answer.
Is there any others that you use day to day?
Claude is my best friend. I did see online actually that saying please and thank you to like the AI agents is costing one, the planet, and two, loads of money.
Really?
AI has terrible.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. The saying please and thank you though.
Yes, because it's like extra processing.
Yeah, true.
Equally though, I'm terrified that one day, well, what if I don't say? Will I not be favoured if I'm not saying my P's and Q's? So
same.
no, I love Claude. I used Google Gemini for quite a while. That was a good one. I know a lot of people like GPT, ChatGPT, but I just really hate the interface. I find it so stuffy and blocky. So Claude for me is a really brilliant mix. I have the Pro subscription. I think it's about £20 a month, which I was hesitant at first, but you run out of questions very quickly otherwise. So it's worth it. And I know you can do similar on ChatGPT, but on Claude you can set up projects.
Oh, okay.
So it can save prompts and tones of voices. So for my daily newsletter, I might be, you know, here are 10 articles that I've really enjoyed about B2B influencer marketing. Can you write me an introduction for my top story segment? And it will take all of them. It will remember yesterday's. It will learn my tone of voice and produce something that I can copy paste, edit slightly, but then kind of immediately use. So Claude is a real favourite of mine. Other than that, I use Adobe Express quite a lot to generate AI images.
Oh yeah, nice.
Especially in my carousel and static content, or I've been trying it quite a lot recently for like the front page of my carousels as well. I did a post about, there was a really cool article I read about how users feel that the internet is filling up with AI slop. And I wanted to write a post. I wanted it to have like a punchy, fast image, but I didn't know what to Google. Like, what does AI slop look like? How do I put that on a front page? So I was on the Adobe Express, generative AI photo thing. And just like, make me a trash can with social media app logos spilling out with a label that says AI slop. And they all looked great. and I was like, make it look like a cartoon, and it looks like a really cool like old school cartoon.
Yeah.
Popped that in my design, and it looked really good. So that's really new to me. My boyfriend actually works in AI, building AI models. He's a data scientist. And
Very nice.
they're very fancy. He does tippy-tappy things, and I'm just there making my pictures. So I learn a lot from him about prompting.
Oh, okay,
and I know
nice.
that quite a popular like teaching in that space is garbage in, garbage out. So, you know, if you're saying like, make me a picture of a trash can, like it's going to really struggle to produce something that you really want. So being specific, I want the lighting to come from the right. I want it to have the texture of metal. I want it to look like a cartoon. And even when with your text prompts, you know, I want a caption for this post.
Yeah.
That's going to absolutely suck.
Not
I want this tone
clue.
of voice. Here's an old example. Putting time into it. So Claude is my favourite out of all of the kind of AI chatbot tools.
Yeah.
And Adobe Express, I find that their generative AI tools outbeat competitors and other tools, which are catching up, but just not quite there.
Not quite there yet.
Other than that, I don't think I feel like there's probably so many I could be using.
I think that's
but
enough, though.
That's my starter.
Yeah.
That's my like foot into AI.
Yeah, I mean, I use ChatGPT a lot, but like you say, being specific with the prompts is it's so important. Like sometimes we'll use it to write captions or even to give me a beginning of a script for a series. But the more specific that I can be, obviously the better it comes out. I would literally go to detail and be like, I want it to be like this kind of vibe and that kind of thing. So love it. So thank you so much for coming in and chatting with us. We've had a lovely time. We hope you've had a lovely time too.
I have indeed.
Great. I don't know how else to end it.
That's good.
Bye.